Hi, you guys. It is Layla Lynn here with a GirlChat video collabing with Miss Stylist Raven. And we will be discussing Kim and Kanye and their impending divorce.
Oh, she said she wants Kim and Kanye. It's this all day right now.
All right, so on the blogs today, they are reporting that Kim is saying, I guess she's telling people in her camp that she wants to get a divorce from Kanye West, which to me, is that surprising to you, or?
Oh, not at all, because this is Kim. She was married for like 2 days to
That's true.
I mean, this is not the first black man she's been married to. People don't know people that she just kind of like elevated her status from this dude to that dude. Right. And I mean, she only stayed with Chris just to get with Kanye and not Kanye crazy. So, I mean,
I would think because this is her third marriage that she would kind of want to make this one last. You know what I mean? Because apparently she wants to be married. You know? That's what I would think.
Kim does not want to be married. Kim wants whatever, limelight. She's all about putting herself in front of the camera, everything. That's why right now I'm just waiting to see how long it's going to take her before she come back in with everything that she's doing. I'm waiting to see Kanye in the hospital and keeping up with the Kardashians, even though she's claiming she's canceled.
Yeah, I hope I don't see that. To me, that's a little low.
What makes you think you're not going to see Kanye and we saw Lamar?
Well, yeah, we did see Lamar. You're right. We did see that. And I don't really watch the show, but I did catch that. I did see him on the screen. But to me, it's like, you have to have your limits. Even if you're, a celebrity or whatever, you make money off your life. And I feel like this is past that limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Kim. Yeah. A lot of people don't want Kim or any of the Kardashians, like with black guys. I don't really care, like, who they date and who they don't date. My whole thing is, like, don't get with somebody and proclaim to be a power couple. I really feel like Kim got with Kanye because he flirted or he liked her and she knew this. Yeah. And she's like, oh, that'll put me in BFFs with Beyonce and we can go here. And I mean, it just didn't happen for her.
It did.
Even recapping, it started out with her whining about, well, Beyonce and Jay-Z didn't come see them, and you just think that they would have came to see them at the house.
Was she the one saying that?
The whole thing where Kanye done went on stage and, put out there that him and Jay not talking. I
guess
it's for the wrong reasons.
I'm not a fan of Kim, really, but I kind of feel sorry for her at this point after what happened in Paris with the robbery. Like, I do believe that was real. And at this point, I kind of feel bad. Like, I feel like she's the one that almost got killed, but he's the one having the panic attacks. Yeah, the breakdown. And then she has to kind of, like, attend to him, but what about her? That's how I feel at this point. Like, I feel kind of sorry for her, even though that's not normally how I would feel about her.
So, I covered this exact same topic on TMZ Live. Yeah. And my thing, like, to them was, because they were like, be nice, this, and that, let's talk about something. And honestly, I do feel sympathetic for her, because I'm a mother, you're there, you're alone, you're thinking you're going to rest, and you're broadcasting all this stuff, and you think they come to get the ring, and that's not even what they came to get. They were really just coming to get money. Mm-hmm. But, again, she put herself in that predicament. Now, I will say that she has pulled away as much, she's not on social media as much. But to say I don't know, it's on the fence with me. I don't know if I really feel sorry for her because, I don't like, with Kim, you just don't know what's authentic. I feel like the robbery was authentic, but now, like, the going on, talking about she just doesn't feel safe, she doesn't feel safe around anybody and all this, I think that's a big absurd because Kanye brought her back with a whole motorcade, like, way bigger than Obama. So, I mean,
I feel for her on that. I think she's paranoid at this point because of what happened. It's almost like PTSD. Like, I feel like she, right now she's kind of like paranoid. And that's why I feel sorry for her.
But you was giving with Kanye. He crazy.
Yeah, he is crazy. I mean, I could never be with a man like him anyway. Like, to me, you know what? I don't want to say too much, but nothing about his personality is attractive to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the road I want to go down. But for her, like you said, she had her reasons for wanting to be with him and, wanting to be part of a power couple. And in a way, it did backfire in a way, but I still feel kind of bad for her.
I think it backfired for both of them because they were both in, public relationships with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them disconnected those relationships to get whatever they thought. In Kanye's mind, he probably thought like this is going to elevate him. And in some ways, I do feel like Kim took him to another level because she kind of made him have more humility about himself and just kind of calm down somewhat, and he wasn't just lashing out at everybody like as the Kanye but it's like now his music is not as good, and that's really like I don't want to see Kanye on the runway with
torn up clothes.
Like I want to see the Kanye, that we all know, so.
I feel that way about Kim and how she's, Kanye's like dressing her now, and it's kind of like he's making her into the woman that he wants her to be. And I don't like that woman. Like, I don't like what he's making her into. Like, I want to see the old Kim.
Yeah.
But I want them to stay together, though. I don't want them to break up.
Yeah, well, I think I want them to stay together simply because, I do value marriage. Regardless of what Kim has done, I think that Kanye actually values marriage, and he would probably tell her the true value of it. Mm-hmm. But I just don't feel like. I feel like he's probably in a thing where he's constantly trying to fight her to keep it there and trying to figure out a way to keep his space and everything. Because there's celebrities that hang out together all day, every day. They don't have a typical marriage like an everyday person. This is for pampering for everything else, but you have two small kids involved in everything.
Yeah, and supposedly she wanted a third one.
Yeah, I would believe it. Kanye got money. If something happened, that's a nice child support check.
So she's no different. Now, what I heard, because they still, from what I've heard, they live with Kim's mother, and that the reason their house is not finished is because Kanye can't agree on any of the renovations that they do, and that's keeping them out of their house. And I think, even though I'm sure, Chris has a nice house, I'm sure it has to be like a strain on the marriage as well. You know what I mean? Not living in your own home.
Well, I think so too, but I don't think Kanye is there. I think it's more so Kim stays there. Kanye is not there because if you take into account when they moved in with Chris and everything like this, it's been times that he's been in there, but he wasn't really living there. I mean, it was all over TMZ, all over like news articles that he actually wasn't there. They were living separate, and for almost a year now, everybody's been like they've been living separate. So that's what I'm saying. You really don't know how much of it is actually true, not true. What's really going on? For all we know, it could have been Kim idea to do the blonde gig, and she just telling Kanye like, "Hey, tell people you trust me since you want to have a fashion line," because I don't know where the fashion line thing came from.
It's not going good though. Like I don't know where it came from either, but it's not. To me, okay, I think he's mentally unstable, and I feel like his fashion line shows that because it's so horrible. You know what I mean? Like the stuff he's designing. To me, it shows where his mind is. Like he's showing you people in trash bags because his mind. You know what I mean? His mind is not where it should be.
Women are buying his boots, and like all the companies start making a little clear boots, or they make them in khaki.
I see them, girl, but I don't like them. I do not like them.
I told my husband, I said, that's not work. I don't like those.
To be honest, I haven't seen one thing of his that I like. And to me, that's sad because, I like a lot of stuff. And they say he spends so much time in his, on his fashion line. And to me, that's sad,
So how do you feel about people saying, like, Kim is actually bringing him down? She's the reason for the breakdown because it's just too much for him. She's caused the rift in between him and Jay.
I don't agree. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Kim, so I don't keep up with her every move, but I don't see her doing anything to him. Like to me, what I see going on is kind of like him. Like he's unstable. It's a celebrity relationship, so it's already kind of going to be rocky. But I don't see what she's doing to him. You know what I mean? I feel like he's obsessed with her, and so maybe it might be little stuff that she does that might be big to him because he's obsessed with her. But I don't really see what she's doing.
I think Kanye looked at Kim as a business deal, as like a brand, and things that it was for me. Like just for me, put it all together, I think it was an obsession. Everybody know what Kim was famous for, and for him to want her in the beginning, it was for lust. He didn't look at Kim and say, "That's gonna be my wife. That's gonna be this." It was a lustful thing. Whatever little Kardashian voodoo she put on is what made him like, you know what? And started thinking in a business. I mean, for all we know, it could have been managers, it could have been anybody. Been like, "Hey, this could be good for your brand. People need to like this." You know, so I really think he went into a full blown business thing. Like, we're gonna be this big couple. We're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, and Kim was probably just like, "Okay, yeah,
kind of." That's all I see when I see her. I don't see any like depth, and that's why part of the reason why I say I don't see her doing anything to him, because she doesn't seem that deep to me that she's doing anything to him.
You'd be surprised, because I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and for the longest, if I'm correct, for the longest as I can remember, Kim and Khloe are the two that allegedly had fertility problems. Oh, I can't get pregnant. She was with Reggie Bush. She was with everybody, and she never, ever, ever. As soon as, like a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, maybe 6 months at the most into dating Kanye, all of a sudden now here comes North and West. So I don't know. I really feel like, Kris Jenner being everything. That's just like how they got her son Rob with Black China. And they done put a whole show and spinned it off. I really feel like Kris Jenner put a spin on it. And I think that's how North came.
So what do you mean that's how North came?
I really think North came from Kim feeling like she had to put some kind of latch on. She had to, keep some kind of grip on, some type of role.
I think she feels old. I think she is, in her 30s. And I think she feels like she has to have a child now while she's not, like, I think she legitimately feels like this is the time for her to have children. But what do you think about, from what I've heard, the Kardashians are blocking Black China from using their name?
What can they do? They can't do nothing, because honestly, I really think Rob and China are already married. I just don't think it's been publicized to the public. Sometimes they do stuff, and I just don't see Rob and her trying to live together, having a show together. This was filmed already. It's not like they were filming it and it was airing as it was filmed. This was already filmed. So they knew that was coming. So I really feel like they're already married. It's just a period of when they're going to actually start and I just think they just don't like her. But you can't really just get. She's queen of all petty, but people tend to pacify when it comes to Kylie. Kylie was wrong in the whole thing, and she even got with Black China, and China just took it to a petty thing like, "Oh, you want to mess with him? I'm gonna snag y'all brother.
Now I'm family. You're not gonna get rid of me." Yeah,
it's not to pacify Rob. He was the he's going to the press. He's having like different things for her to come there and pay him attention. That's really all it took.
Yeah, I don't think they like her at all, but I do think she has a right to that name. If she marries Rob Kardashian, I think she has a right to that Kardashian name.
And I think she had already changed her name, because I think she had already, it was something like with her brand and her logo, and she had changed it to Angela Kardashian, and now you have Dream Kardashian, so Rob, and Rob seems to be pretty happy with her. Yeah. Regardless of even with the dysfunction they have, he probably see that all day. If you have kids with a person, you really actually, it brings you closer. So I really, they're probably like in a good place. And the sisters don't have any, they can't control her. Kris can't control her. None of them can control her. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's a power struggle.
But do you think she cheapens their brand? Or you think it's already cheap?
Let me see. Their brand is kind of already cheap. They're known for videos. The only one that I've never really seen a video or heard about a video would be, what's the other one? Not Khloe. Kourtney. Yeah, Kourtney. I don't think Kourtney has anything out like that, but I know that she does take like her new pictures. Most celebrities do that anyway. But between Khloe and Kim, it don't get much
cheaper than that.
The household is definitely mixed up. Just being for real, they were in the house with Bruce, where he was kind of battling whether he wanted to be a woman. Yeah. you're growing up as kids. Kids are impressionable. So you say what you want, but Kylie and Kendall, they grew up, catching their dad in clothes, trying to figure out
what's going on.
Persona of like, oh, everything is okay, we're in love, and now it just hits. So I think they try to take the attention off. And, it's a good thing to have Rob and his show going right now because it takes the attention that, off of Bruce and what he's doing.
You still call him Bruce?
Yeah, that's his government name.
Okay. Okay. So everything he's done, it don't make a difference to you. Well, I shouldn't say he. I'll say she. I'll everything she's done.
Has he actually had the full sex change yet?
I don't think so, though. I know it's a little bit confusing because you would feel like, okay, if that person hasn't had the full sex change yet, you shouldn't have to call them she. But I think if they've gone through the paperwork as far as like changing their driver's license and changing their name, then I think they are officially that gender legally.
The other gender.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it depends because like when he first revealed himself and he did his spread as Caitlyn and everything, I was like, dang, he looks good. He looks better than Chris. I was like,
people were saying that, but that was just, to me, it was like airbrush and stuff like that.
Yeah. When they showed him on the Diane Sawyer thing, he didn't look like the picture. No. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Still some work to do. But I think some of that has to do with age. I think if that person was younger, they could transition better. But girl, that's a whole nother topic. All right, so Stylist Raven, I want to thank you for collabing with me. I appreciate your time. And hopefully we can do this again soon.
Bye.
Bye.